Hello, hello, welcome, and thank you guys so much for joining us on our next episode of Winners Wednesday. And today I am very excited as we have a very special guest, Mr. David Mills, joining us. Good morning, David.
Hey, Micah, how you doing? Thank you so much for having me on your show. I appreciate it.
No, absolutely. Thank you. I know you're super busy, so we appreciate you taking time out. And David, I know we've shared a little bit about you in the past, but for the viewers out there that's watching and don't know about you yet, can you give us just a brief overview about how long you've been in real estate, how long you got into, or when you got into real estate, et cetera?
It's been about 17 years for me. I started when I was in Atlanta, Georgia, but I was a real estate investor prior to that. I was buying and holding since I was 21. So I've been doing this a long time. I'm in my 60s now, so you do the math. Been doing this a while. I love real estate, and I think the thing that kind of ignited my interest in becoming a real estate agent was I was doing the investment side, and I would hear people complain about their experience with realtors. And I had a tough, bad experience with realtor when I started initially 40 years ago buying properties. And I remember my first property that I bought, I walked out of the closing. I walked away from the closing table because I just felt like the agent did not prepare me for what was about to transpire during this closing. And I thought I was being duped. I thought I was being scammed when I was buying this house for $23,000,
Yeah.
And so I walked out, but then she came and got me and she assured me it wasn't a scam, blah, blah, blah. But it was really, she hadn't prepared me. So as a realtor, I decided, well, I'm going to become a realtor, but I'm going to do a better job of making sure my clients know what what they're about to experience. I'm going to prepare them for everything, and they're going to have a very good transaction experience with me, so much so that they're going to want to tell all their friends and family to use me. And that was the impetus for really getting into real estate, was to do a better job than what I'd seen realtors were doing out there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And in talking with, the real estate agents, that seems to unfortunately be a common thread. So not every real estate agent is equal. And I think you've done a really good job of that, David. I've seen some of the testimonials that have come through. I know that you've gotten awards as far as client satisfaction. So what are some of the things that you've implemented in your business to make sure that, after all these years, you stand true to that service?
Well, I think it's important that even when we're dealing with buyers, especially, most agents will a client will say, "I want to see these homes," and they take them straight to the property and start showing property.
Mm-hmm.
What I do, and the people in our Icon Luxury group, what we do is we actually do a buyer's consultation prior to showing them property, to educate them on the process and to prepare them for what you can expect from me, and here's what you can expect from when we go and see properties. We prepare them for everything. We talk about like what you should not say when you're in somebody's home. For instance, we prepare them that when you walk in a home, there may be audio, video surveillance going on, and you can't say, "Boy, this house smells like dog," or "Let's lowball them so that we can get." You can't say things like that when you walk in a home. So we fully prepare our clients before we actually take them into a home.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, and the clients and we have systems to keep in touch with a client throughout every phase of the transaction. That way they never feel like, "Well, where did my agent go? We're under contract and they've disappeared."
Right.
Or the signs in the yard and they've disappeared. It's not like that. So we do a very good job of making sure a client is completely aware of what's going on. They feel well informed and involved in this transaction. And then one of the things that we talk about a lot is fiercely protect our client from negative things and negative people that happen during the transaction. So the word fiercely protect them from that.
I love it.
From the other side, the agent who's combative and who thinks that a transaction should be competitive and combative, or the lender who is not doing his job, or the closing agent, we protect them, because we know if our clients get to the closing table and they had a wonderful experience, then our chances of getting referrals and great reviews and 4 other transactions from that client just happens because of that. So everything is just very important to us, and we pay attention to all of it to make sure that our client experience is excellent.
I love it. One of the things that I love about David is you're not just saying all these great things, you're actually implementing it in your
Oh yeah,
business.
yeah,
I've personally seen it. And I
yeah.
think that's really been one of the keys to your success. And, some of the people that are watching right now, we haven't mentioned that you're actually licensed in 2 different states and run teams, and then also have an expansion team. So how are
Yes.
you able to maintain that and train, and also you're the founder of the Icon Luxury Group. So let's chat a little bit about that, and how you've been able to expand.
Well, it's I'm kind of I'm one of those weird people that use both sides of their brains. I'm very analytical, and I think I'm creative at the same time. So with both sides of my brain, I've been very methodical um, about annotating and documenting everything about this business from day one that I've been in this business. So um, I don't have to rewrite a new email. I don't have to. I have checklists for everything. So I have systems that I created over the years that enables me to not miss anything, and nothing falls through the crack, because I have systems. Everything works better if you have a system, and checklist is just a part of, as a way of life. Pilots use pre-flight checklists. Physicians use checklists before they cut you open. Every professional use checklists and have systems before they do everything. And we're no different as realtors. We need to have systems in place. You shouldn't have to duplicate things and reinvent the wheel with every new person. You're like, what do I do next? No, I have systems in place. And so I've been able to offer the agents that have come to work with us in the Icon Luxury Group. Here's a system that I put together that I've worked on and made it better. Here it is. You can have it and use it, and it will help you. And we all meet weekly. We have our own mastermind. There's 33 of us right now, and growing.
That's amazing.
And so it's just, and we're in multiple states. Yes, I'm licensed in Georgia and Florida, but we're in more states than just that. So that's it. You just because there's a system in place to help them do their business effectively. Everything from even their income. You have to track everything, not just your activity, not just your results, but even your money. Everything is tracked. We have a system for it, that if they use it, they can win. So that's important.
No, absolutely. And I couldn't agree more, because one of the things I learned a long time ago in business is if it's not duplicatable, it doesn't exist. You don't do it,
Exactly.
right? So it
Exactly.
sounds like those systems that you've put into place have allowed you to be able to duplicate and expand. So for maybe agents, whether it be a newer agent or an agent that just really hasn't implemented, a lot of us agents kind of fly by the seat of our pants. How did you initially create those systems? What steps would you recommend agents do they start just documenting the process, if you will?
That is correct. Yes, you know everything that you need to do when you're working with a buyer and when you're working with a seller.
Mm-hmm.
So you create a document. What to do when you get first thing, what to do when you get a prospect. Write that down. What to do when you have a new contact. What do you do with that new contact? Where do you place them? How do you label them in your database? What to do now that they have turned into a prospect and they're looking for a new home, or they're now giving you an appointment. What to do with every step. So there's a what to do for everything. And if you list those things out, and then there are communications that's necessary during every phase of the business. So then you need another document of what communications, what do I send when I first meet a client? What email do I send them? What what's in that email, what's contained in everything. Every email that I've sent, I've been sending the same emails for 17 years.
Wow.
I just edit the words to fit the person and the circumstances of that. And it just fits. You know, I tell them, you couldn't have chosen the better to sell your home because we're experiencing a seller's market in XYZ zip code. And then I give them some data, one line of data on why it's a great time for them to be selling homes in there. And then when we meet, this is going to happen. We'll accomplish the following. And I'm sending you a copy of a digital copy of my guide to selling a home in the email. And so they get a digital copy of and in there, it's homework for things that I want them to do before I get to the house. So when I get there and they have stuff laid out, the homework is already done.
Nice.
I got that listing.
Right.
Because they did my homework.
Mm-hmm.
I gave them some assignment in my email, things to do, and it's laid out. And so, oh wow, I got this one. I'm listing this house, no matter who I'm competing against.
Right.
I'm listing this house.
So you're assuming the sale essentially before you even go to the listing presentation.
Done. Yes.
I love it. And you're adding value and you're giving them something to implement to stand out from the crowd. So that's amazing. So 17 years, you probably started out like many of us as a single agent and then over time created a team. What did that look like? And what was that kind of process as you developed a team?
Well, my team, when I first started in Georgia, was kind of unusual. I got so many criticisms back then because they felt like, but I'm a fair person and I don't want to do anything. I wouldn't do anything to hurt anyone. And the structure of most teams are set up that the team leader makes most of the money or all of the money.
Right.
And 50% of the income of the team members go to that team leader. And that's not what I wanted to do. I said, if I'm going to do a team, I've got to make it in such a way that I would join somebody's team. So I changed the ratio, the percentage pretty low. But I didn't give my agents leads. I taught them how to fish. I didn't give them a fish. I gave them my system. I said, here, if you come to work with me, I'm going to show you how to be a top producer. And they all became top producers, not making that up. They all became top producers because they just used the system. We met every week. We talked about, I would take a contract and I said, here's a contract here. Look at what a contract that I saw that someone sent me this week. What's wrong with this contract? And we would review it. We would talk about this guy wrote a contract. It was all wrong. And his client is not protected based on this contract. Here's why we should never do this. And we did role playing. We did everything. And that's kind of how I built a team of top producers.
Yeah. And I think that's amazing because, really, I'll be honest here, the old fashioned team model is a bit broken, right?
Yes,
so when people say I want to start a team, I'm like, ooh, there's a better way, right? There's a modern way.
Yes.
Which really leads me into my next question here. We were so blessed to have met you about, a little over a year ago in Florida. And so now you're actually one of our business partners here at EXP. Yes, now, I have to admit, you were doing your thing. You're at the top of the game, luxury agent, doing extremely well. I don't believe you were looking to make a move. Right. What was it that triggered that change?
Well, at my former brokerage, I was paying too much. It was a lot of money that I was not getting the value for what I was giving the brokerage. So that was one aspect of it. And although I wasn't looking to make a change, when someone called me, when Hamoudi called me and told me about EXP, I listened to him because he was gutsy enough to get on the phone and call me, not just send me an email like I get every day from somebody. Right. He called me, we spoke. He said, would you be willing to talk to me about EXP? It wasn't a sales pitch. It was just, would you be willing to listen? Sure, I'll be willing to listen.
Mhm.
And as we spoke, and then you were very much involved in the conversation. You explained what this model that was like, oh wow, this is really cool. This I can see how someone can make to build a life in this business. Unlike most real estate agents, where they're concerned that, oh no, I closed, I don't have anything else left.
Mhm.
Oh no, I just made this. They're happy when they get one or two buyers or listings, but when it's over, they feel like I got to start all over again. Well, EXP kind of figured that thing out and made
A
it
little bit.
such and made it so that it's bigger than your transaction. Your business can be bigger than just your real estate transaction. And they offered the stock and the revenue share and the training and the support that and the cost was way lower than I cap in a month and a half here,
Wow,
and move on to 100%.
that's
So
amazing.
it's a beautiful world to be in with EXP. So I'm
So you
loving
mean
it.
to tell me if somebody understands math and they do the numbers, it makes sense, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I
So
thought
you
it
have
was
to be
brilliant. Yes, you just have to be a little open to just listen and just okay. I know that you feel loyalty towards this broker or this system or this brand, but it was you just have to look at the math and see what makes sense.
open.
And because there's the financially, it's never been better. Support wise, now I must admit, because EXP is so big and there's so much technology involved with EXP. My first week last year with EXP was like drinking from a fire hydrant. It was
Mhm.
frustrating as heck. I
Right.
had 8 transactions in the hopper that from my former brokerage, and then working on new deals that was coming up, and nothing was moving fast enough for me in that first week. But then I got the hang of it, finally, and it was, I didn't even think the whole world thing and having avatars and was because I never played a video game in my life. I don't want to, but
Me too.
I love it, and now I love it. The people in the broker room there, they know me. We have conversations like we're sitting in the same room together now. It is so cool and
That's
such a good use of time.
That's amazing. And I do appreciate the transparency because just like you, when we partner with agents, I always let them know, hey, EXP offers a lot more than probably what you're used to. So it is going to be like drinking from a fire hose for the first 2 weeks.
Yes.
After you get that down, it's amazing. And that's why we've actually hired agent support staff to help streamline that process. So with that said, you're growing, in Florida, in Georgia, and then other states as well. You're
Yes.
duplicating. You've got a wonderful family of agents now.
Yes.
What are some of your, we're here at the new year. What are your big goals for this year?
Well, this year I would love to grow our team. The thing that we're working on this year, we did good for the first year, but I would like to grow the Icon Luxury Group into 100 agents by the end of this year, and that's what we're looking to do by the end of the year, to do 100 agents and be able to have a lot of these top producing agents really expand their business even more and more. I have a system that I share at no cost with with the agents that come join our group, and I help them, and we all mastermind together. So it's not the David Mills show.
Mhm.
It's a complete mastermind of brilliant, generous, very talented agents, and we all mastermind over everything and put our heads together to come up with best practices and really help each other to grow every single week. And so I want 33 is great for the start of the year, but by the end of this year, we'd like for us to be 100 of us in the Icon Luxury Group and all over the country, and then we'll go on to bigger and better things in 2023. But
That's
100,
amazing. You're
Yeah,
already looking at 2023, which I absolutely love. By the way, David, I have no doubt that you're going to hit 100 agents with the value, like you said, the masterminds that you hold, the value add, your systems that you've made duplicatable. I mean, to me, it becomes a no-brainer for somebody to be able to align themselves with a top producer like yourself. It's just, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing that is hard to find in our industry. So, with that said, whether you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube or wherever it may be, and agents are interested to learn how they can partner with you here at EXP, what's the best way to reach out to you?
You can they can call me directly. My number is 941-405-3596. That's 941-405-3596. Or my email is david.mills at, listen to it, thedavidmillsteam.com. david.mills@thedavidmillsteam.com, or just DM me on Facebook or something like that. That would work as well. But I appreciate you even having me here today. I appreciate the time chatting with you. You are an amazing leader. You have done such a great job with the team that you have built, you and Hamudi. And I couldn't be happier with the kind of because of the kind of support that you offer my team and myself personally to help grow my business. Thank you so much, Micah. I do appreciate you big time.
Likewise, my friend, and we're here. We're gonna help you get those 100 agents, the 100 agent partners, and just continue to impact more lives. And I think that's one of the great things about our model is this is truly set up where we are almost incentivized to help other people grow more than ourselves. And that's one of the things that I love the most. So right. I want to thank you, David. I'm super excited that we met and can't wait for the future. So I appreciate you for joining us today.
Well, I'm glad to be here. I just, in closing, I'd say if a top producer looking at EXP would really need to consider going to a place where their business just grows exponentially beyond their normal reach of having a team or working as a solo agent. Because of all the things, the resources that we have here. I did 17 million last year. That's my personal production. That wasn't the Icon Luxury Group production. That's my personal production. Multiply that times 3%. That would tell you what I made in commission for 2021.
Not bad, right?
It's not bad for a guy that's living in paradise and going to the beach quite a bit and just chilling. So it's not bad, and then there's revenue share that kind of just amazing. So thank you so much for introducing me to this company, and I do appreciate your time.
Thank you. Likewise. Thank you so much, David.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Tell everybody we said hello.
I will. You too. Bye.